Oh, there we go. Okay.
Hey, Will.
Hello. Hello, Dark.
Hello, both of you.
Those. Another platform.
Excellent. No. Oppenheimer? Wow. I am become death. Destroyer of worlds.
Apparently, it and Barbie are still clashing in the box office.
Wow. Is it Nightbot? Really?
All right, I guess.
Oh, right back.
Nightbot was just calling out Dark's ad. That's all. Here's the tweet.
Right where it was, huh?
Hurry up, Rundgren.
Like, well, it is really hot around here.
Yeah. Like,
Still running 100
okay.
degrees. I'm saying it's still running over 100 degrees. I'm not hearing it. Anything today, Will. You got me on that. I can't.
Well, like you made a joke comment the other day about, it must just be so hard to stay up and play video games. Come on,
like,
Dre. When it's this hot, it's hard for me to stay awake sometimes. It stays like 90 degrees still in this room after the sun goes down.
Right.
Like, no, I want to stay awake. I want to beat the game. 30. We finished episode 30.
Yeah, I got to 30.
Where is the tweet?
I don't know. I don't know what thou hast done with it.
Oh, it didn't send one. Well, there's no. Okay.
All right. Din. I'm not sure I go that far. It was kind of nice little. For the franchise, though, and for the storyline, it's almost kind of a predictable character.
Yeah, probably should have come sooner.
But that, I mean, just the whole thing. But the best. Fair enough.
All right. Well, it didn't send a tweet, but I sent one. I do have a pre-show topic for you.
All right.
There is, and I'm not trying to dox anybody here, but there is a reviewer for RPGFan.net.
Yeah.
That they do some good reviews. I like most of their reviews. That puts up a list of beaten games every year, and I had never seen anybody do this before this person. But every time they beat a game, including like games that have multiple runs, they count it as a new beat a game. So whereas most years I'm struggling to have beaten more than 10, right?
Yeah.
They have like 80 on there because every time they finish a run in Hades, they beat a game. Every time they finish a character story in a Dynasty Wars game, they beat a game because you get credits.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I think that's a really interesting way to look at things. And that segues into the way that people look at reviews. Where like, hey, you didn't do this, so you haven't actually beaten the game, you know?
No, that's just everybody's like people have this ridiculous need to have to feel like an air of superiority or very special that they know that has this knowledge and nobody else does.
Yep.
I mean, that's when you have free reign on the internet. That's gonna be there through that.
So my question to you is, when do you count a game as beaten? And chat, I'll ask you the same question. When does a game count as beaten?
Well, look, if you okay, a surefire example for me would be you put the game on normal, you complete the storyline until the developer gives you credits.
Right.
You go through, yeah, and you get the end game. Then you beat the game.
That's
Now
my definition as well.
you can rebeat the game,
Mhm.
you know. But even if like I like to mod like Fallout and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Even through that, if you go through and just do the Minutemen and take down the Institute, you beat the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you do the Brotherhoods or whatever. But anytime you do that with a game that when you've gone through it and you've beaten it, it's kind of a new game plus.
Mm.
You don't have all the stuff, but for a lot of games, you'll be able to go get stuff quicker.
Yeah, knowledge is power.
And my first, over, I get right. The first, well, it's like the first one I remember doing that to the first big game where I ran through it again. I beat it again. I started from scratch. I wasn't getting anything from the first game. Was the original Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Because the second time I played it, one of the as early as I could, I went and got the Rat's Tail. So I changed the classes, through that. That made a big difference in that game.
Yeah.
Going through. I didn't take anything over, but yeah, I beat it twice. The second time I had a real big advantage.
Right. I guess for me, it's pretty much right in line with you, where when I beat a game is when I hit the credits. But if it has multiple credits, it needs to be the last credits. It's, if like Dragon Quest 11, you beat the game, but you actually only beat a third of the game, and they give you credits. But then you get into a post game for that, and then it's the next run, and it does the same thing at the 2/3 mark, and then does it the 3/3 mark, and that's the last credits.
The at 100% of the game is beyond.
Yeah, that's completing it.
Yeah, because there's games that you can't 100%.
Yeah,
it's impossible because there's games. For example, a simple one: if you're offered two choices of this one part of the game, you go do one, you go do other.
Right.
You miss out on some content.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to go back and get it. So some games can't be 100%.
Yeah.
You have to do multiple playthroughs, but yeah.
Well, and to Dark's comment on Nier Automata there, I look at that as like, there are 26 endings. I beat it when I get the final ending, when I get the final credits, right? As far as I'm concerned, I don't have to see all 26, even though I did. I love that game. I don't have to see all 26. One of them's a fish ending. I don't have to see all 26 to feel like I beat the game, but I would have to see all 26 to feel like I completed the game. And those are two different things in my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you've played within all the rules forced upon you and gone through it. And a lot of the stuff for 100%ing, there's a lot. Fair enough to that. There's a lot like I love I really enjoy Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I'm never gonna 100% those games.
Right. No, never.
Care to.
No.
Lotro I've been playing I'm not
gonna
100% that game.
Right.
Close. A little bit deal. I guess, just put your definition out for what you're doing.
Right.
We start from the beginning from scratch and get to credits. We count the game as beat.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's weird too for me, like reviewing games. There are games that I'm like Final Fantasy 16, where I'm like, I'm gonna do all the side quests. But then like in Tears of the Kingdom, I didn't do all the side quests, and I'm probably not gonna. They're good, but I'm probably not gonna go back and do them all. I don't know what makes the difference for me there. That's a me thing. That's a very different structure.
And there's quite a few games out there that I don't know. There are a few games out there that kind of they feel like they want you to 100% it or almost 100%.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's the stuff that you'll be going and getting collecting will be valuable for your character or make your gameplay easier, make you stronger, whatever. And some of it's just like I don't know. I don't remember. I think like in Gears of War, you could collect dog tags, but you didn't really unlock anything for it.
Gears of War also had an achievement for killing 256,000 locusts.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, no. All right, well, you ready to kick into the show then?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
Marungren.
We got some stuff to talk about tonight. I'm excited. We got a lot more news than I thought we were going to have this week. A lot more reviews, a lot more announcements. It's going to be a full jam-packed show. Hopefully you stick around. But before that, we have a pop quiz.
Yeah, I got a pop quiz.
I'm really distracted right now. I feel like my camera is like lower quality than normal, and it's like stuttering, and I don't know why. But I'm going to stop talking about it now. Please go ahead.
Okay. Let me get this situated where I can see it. So this is about Batman, the animated series.
Ooh.
Okay. It's a pretty big show, right? Kind of, for a lot of people, that's up top of the list for like this is Batman.
Yeah.
This is good. A lot of iconic things come from this. And one of the things, it's got a very catchy intro.
Yep.
The style, the way it looks, right? The that is not an intro created from scratch, where they throw in a catchy song and a flashy title screen, just that.
Right.
They actually pulled that intro from something else. Do you know what that was?
I have no idea. I'm going to say pulled it from I was going to say Darkwing Duck. That's very wrong. Darkwing Duck I think was afterwards. I'm going to say they pulled it from Oh, I can see the eyes. I'm going to say they pulled it from the I'm just shooting in the dark here. I'm going to say they pulled it from the old Flash cartoon that never made it anywhere past a pilot that failed.
You might be closer than you might think. So what they did, the Batman, it was from the original pilot.
Okay.
The creators, Tim and Radomski, when they got the green light, they took to do the intro. They took the 2-minute pilot that they made for the studio and shortened it down, cut it up, and created the. It was a 2-minute pilot.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how long the
makes sense.
Cut it up to fit the intro. All right. Not too hard stuff, but that's kind of a tricky one. That's kind of tricky. And so yes, it was. It was from the pilot. They made a 2-minute pilot to show off to Warner Brothers. And
I said it was from a different pilot.
Either it was from the Flash pilot. Yes.
There's a failed Flash cartoon that was going to be made way back when. And they had a pilot for it, and it used that same art style. I think it was probably some of the same animators. And it cracked. Like, it failed. People hated it in testing.
Yeah, well. So, the Bruce Timm and Eric Radomski, the creators and the animator, came up with the art style and everything. They were very influenced by another Batman that had come out a few years before and kind of picked up its style and transformed it into them. Do you know what that was? Or at least I'll give you a hint. The the uh, uh, the director is very well known.
Okay. It wasn't. It wasn't. No, there's. I'm gonna guess this, but there's no way. It wasn't Keaton Batman, was it?
The release of Batman 1989, directed by Tim Burton, and its sequel Batman Returns.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't feel like I should get a full point on that because I was leaning on Batman Returns. But
That's Batman.
yeah.
They got the original Batman. Yes. They even in the music for Batman the animated series, they try to copy to sound like Danny Elfman.
That makes sense.
You know, for the sound of it. Okay.
Welcome back, Will.
Okay, yes. Welcome back. All right, not bad. Now, Batman the Animated Series had some famous voice cameos. You got Ron Perlman, Heather Locklear, John Rhys Davis, but it also includes a United States senator. Do you know the name of the senator or the state he's from?
I really want to say a name, but I don't think it's right because I don't think he was ever a senator. I think he was just a mayor.
Okay.
But I want to say Arnold Schwarzenegger, but
No. He's the governor.
See, I almost said John Cena because John Cena was in Batman: The Brave and the Bold. But for anybody who doesn't know, John Cena was at one point going to run for Senate.
I'm sure.
It didn't work, but he was going to.
Yeah, nobody can see him.
Right, yeah, it'd be a problem.
Give up?
Yeah, no, I'm guessing Schwarzenegger, but I don't think it's right.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. So it's actually United States Senator Patrick Leahy. He's a former U.S. Senator for Vermont.
Okay.
He has been a huge comic book fan all his life, especially Batman.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. So he was in season 4, episode 2, Showdown. He's also, just for a little bit extra trivia, he has 5 live-action Batman films that he's cameoed in.
Oh,
he was
nice.
in Batman Forever, Batman and Robin, The Dark Knight Rises, and Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Yeah.
He's huge.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
No problem.
Yes. Say, Dark. I feel like when it's something that we both like, there is a 50-50 chance of either we're getting none of the questions or we're getting all of them.
A very specific Hanna-Barbera cartoon from the 60s provided huge inspiration for Batman the Animated Series, especially for the co-creator and producer Bruce Timm. And it comes through in how he drew it, and there's actually many similarities there.
What is?
You have any idea who this cartoon character is?
Is it Boogie Pop Phantom?
No, it is not. Boogie Pop Phantom. No.
That's a good guess. Boogie Pop Phantom does the eye thing that Batman does.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Dark and Faith have got it. It is Space Ghost.
Space Ghost Coast to Coast?
Basically, well, that's what you think of, the Cartoon Network Ghost. But yes, the if you look at the cowl, the way the cape moves.
Yeah.
Same thing. Lots of inspiration from Space Ghost. So yes. Space Ghost. Right, yes, it does. And there is a reason for that. All right.
I've looked it up. Boogie Pop Phantom is not the name of the cartoon character I'm thinking of, but it's something Boogie Phantom, right?
I have no idea. I don't know what you're talking about with that, sir.
Hold on, I gotta find this.
Never heard of a Boogie Pop Phantom.
That's an
We
anime.
can create it. We can create it. No, we will start that comic book of the Boogie Pop.
He crossed over with Scooby Doo. What was?
Is that like? Are you thinking like Blue Falcon has, Batman has, Supernatural has, the Harlem Globetrotters has? There's lots of crossovers with Scooby Doo, man. I don't know who you're thinking about. All right.
Please continue while I try to pull this up.
Okay. There's many things unique about the Batman the Animated Series through the years, right?
Yeah.
And many different levels. And one of the way was the recording sessions for the voice actors. What did they do that was so different from other studios?
Did they have them all in the same room?
They had them all in the same room. They actually they had ensemble castings. Typically, everybody was sitting down except Mark Hamill because he needed the extra energy and the manic movements for the Joker. Not bad. Not bad.
It was Goober and the Ghost Chasers. There's a ghost in Goober and the Ghost Chasers that.
Yes.
I wish it was Funky Phantom though.
No. A lot of anime stuff you're gonna put your voice actor in an isolated booth so you don't catch anything else.
Yeah.
I assure you that for that studio they had amazing sound proofing, amazing microphones, compressors, and like that. They had the setup to get this done. That, yeah, very cool. There's actually an interview with Mark Hamill talking about working with Mr. Conrad on doing the scenes back and forth where he's, I'm Joker talking to Batman.
Yeah. Still miss you, Kevin Conrad.
Kevin Conrad. I said Conrad, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Batman the animated series was praised for its shadowy Art Deco style. And the animators used a clever trick to give the show its trademark aesthetic that created dark atmospheres that kind of loomed over Gotham, even in the daytime. They were the first major production to do something like this. Do you know what their trick was?
I'm going to be honest with you, no, but I'm going to guess that they put another layer over, sort of like the way that cell shading's done, where you have the extra layer that is just for the edges, but this time it was just for the shadows.
You know what? You and Chad are kind of in the same thing, but you're all wrong.
Okay. Well.
Good guesses though. It was the first cartoon ever done, the immediate thing done, where they drew all the scenes on black paper instead of white paper.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes. And it kind of paid off. Right.
That's cool.
Right. The now Kevin Conroy did some very unique voice work playing Batman and Bruce Wayne. One of them tried excellent. Bruce Wayne. And he didn't quite create it. In fact, some of the influence that he had for doing what he did goes back to Michael Keaton. What is one of the biggest things that Kevin Conroy did with his voice that kind of inspired Batman from then on?
Growled.
Oh, that's a good guess. No, that's not it. That is a good guess. Helium. Oh no. Oh, so you're kind of in the vein.
Okay.
But I'm not going to give it to you.
That's fair.
No, he actually developed two different voices, one for Batman and one for
Bruce. Of course. Yeah.
And he actually went in there and it's like, no, this is two different characters. You
Right.
know, there's similarities.
That's no good, Waverly. Hopefully it straightens out soon, but knowing YouTube.
So
Healy.
Mark Hamill is kind of iconic. That Joker voice is iconic, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't think of it. The Joker, Batman series without Mark Hamill, just as much as Kevin Conroy. Those noises they made became iconic, but they were. However, Mark Hamill was not the first Joker. Any idea who the first original Joker was? They actually recorded some lines.
Okay, who would have been big around that time? Scott McNeil.
Nice shot. No.
Okay.
No. I got some. I'm gonna check chat real quick. That's hilarious. But yeah, that would have been. That's not it either. That's funny. That's good though. No, actually, it was Tim Curry was the original voice of the Joker.
Oh, okay.
And after he recorded the lines and they played it back, it was decided that the Joker was a little too terrifying.
Yeah.
And he was someone a little more manic and not quite as threatening. It was too scary.
Look, Will, Scott McNeil's a good guess, okay? He voiced everything back then. He voiced Wolverine back then. He voiced what's he called now? He used to be called something Chopper. Now he's called Devastator in Transformers.
Okay.
He voiced Duo from Gundam Wing. He voiced so many characters. He was huge at that time.
Yeah. The Mark Hamill actually came about. Mark Hamill actually had to audition for the role. The first voice he did was of Ferris Boyle and Heart of Ice, and then the Joker part became available, and he auditioned for it and got it. All right, not bad. I think have I got 3 right for you? Is that?
Yeah, it's not many. I stopped counting after I missed 4. I was like, all right, yeah, no, I'm done this time.
Now, as with many shows, there's probably a point where most fans with Batman animated series go, you know what? At this point or after this point, it's not as good.
Yeah.
It's not as good. Well, of course, the executives of the studio thought they need to market it more towards kids. And it kind of changed the storyline and the look a little bit. But it started out with one requirement per episode. Do you know what that requirement was?
Was it Batman smiling? Bruce Wayne smiling at some point in the episode?
No. I got a few interesting guesses going around. No, they required Robin to be in every episode.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yes. All right, you got one more. And this, for me, there's something about this. It's like, yeah, this is the power that the anime is here. When you take the story and you take it seriously and you desire to do it well, which they did.
Yeah.
Many levels and get stuff. So characters and backstories that are associated with Batman's world today, a lot of them have their origins in Batman the animated series.
Yeah.
There's one prime example. I'll do it this. I'll give you this one. One prime example never appeared in the comic books, but is a staple character of the comic books today, and a staple Batman villain is.
Never appeared in the comics before then. Now is a staple.
Was created for the cartoon.
The Riddler.
What? You'd be ashamed of that answer.
Look, I don't know that. I'm trying. Okay, my first thought was the Tinker, and I don't think that's right. The Tinkerer's not right.
No. Everybody get ready to slap your forehead. Harley Quinn's never been a comic book. She's never been a
Of course, Harleen Quinzel was added because they wanted a character to try and play off of Joker. I knew that too. That's the worst part.
And look, there's others. Mr. Freeze and his story, his backstory, and everything from the cartoon kind of became before that. He was just a guy with a freeze ray.
Yeah. Well, the Riddler changed too. That's why I was like, well, maybe,
Yes. Well, Trey, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Goodness. I hope you learned something.
Yeah. I do just want to say, though, real quick, Batman Beyond is not as bad as everybody makes it out to be. It has a lot of really cool ideas. I saw it mentioned in the chat earlier. And Batman Beyond has ink stuff going on that is really cool, actually. Some cool ideas there. It just fails to execute most of it.
Fair enough. Well.
Dark, I didn't say it was good. I just said it has good ideas.
I don't know. I prefer to have the old, because they did that with in the comics. They did that with everybody. You had, but not a Batman on the Marvel side. You had like Ghost Rider 2099.
Yeah,
I think there was a Spider-Man.
No, I know we're in an ad right now, but yeah, it's better than CW's Batwoman, and that is. It's not on the bottom. That's the thing to remember. It's not on the bottom. And the suit was cool. The ink stuff was cool. The twin sisters that took over for Harley Quinn after she was old, because it's in the future, they were cool. The new, I almost said Shuffle Alliance because she got the new Hearts Club. They were cool.
Yeah.
Everything else about Batman Beyond, not great. But all that stuff individually on its own was cool. If it had been in a different show, that would be stuff we talked about all the time today.
That shouldn't have been. I don't think that one's on Nightbot. What the heck?
No, that was the normal Twitch ad. It just Nightbot didn't warn anybody. I mentioned the ink stuff earlier, didn't I? There's good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Then they took Bane and went, hey, what if Bane was still alive 80 years later, but now he's like a robot man? It's like, how do you make Bane a robot? And I hate it. How did you do that? But anyway, I will just stop here and rant about Batman Beyond for a while.
I will sit with you.
Oh. So, let's get into G-Gundam.
Okay. All right. 30 episodes into G-Gundam. It is not the worst Gundam I have experienced.
Right.
It's definitely overblown, right?
Okay, so Nightbot did warn us. We didn't heed his warning.
Yeah, well, yeah, the boy who cries wolf.
Yeah, exactly.
The bot who cried ad. That's what that is. Bot who cried ad.
No, I think. Oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Sorry, I was trying to think through. I don't despise a lot of the characters as much as I did for a while.
Right.
Through that, they're okay. It's still very reductive, very very basic, and it's for kids. I know.
Yeah,
I know it is.
They also undo some of Domon's character arcs for these episodes.
They do,
which is not super great.
Which is because it's it's what is needed for the storyline of this episode.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the tournament's cool.
Yeah.
Going through that. Some of those mechs are ridiculous. And obviously there's all kinds of cheating going on.
Yeah.
And that we talked about that a little bit. A lot of them, that's two mechs you have. You're not.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of, you have two mechs.
Yeah.
Do that. It
Ugh.
it almost feels like because Master, with Master and Age and everything, you've got like a reset of that story. Like, no, we're just gonna start that up again.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we got to that point, and there was that fight, and we probably could have wrapped it up right there, but we need to go much longer. So we're just gonna start everything kind of again.
Yeah. Also, the fact that Master Asia refuses to accept that he's the undefeated anymore is like, that's cool. I'm fine with him as a character not being able to accept it. But the fact that everybody else just keeps calling him undefeated, like, no, he lost multiple times to Domo now. Like,
yeah.
I did want to point out too, to Dark's comment, I love G-Gundam. It really bothers me that there's like 7 Gundams that get really well thought out frames that look aesthetically pleasing, that like, hey, these are Gundams, right? And then everybody else just gets throw junk on them to make them look like those countries. Don't try to make them look sleek. Don't try to make them look cool. Just throw junk on them.
Yeah. Well, Neo Africa, that's kind of it's not racism much, it's nations on that, but they got
well, that one's specifically Neo Kenya, lest we forget. I would want to call that out. It is Neo Kenya.
They did.
You could tell because
Yeah, and then I've to this day I think they did Holland dirty.
Yep,
that is the worst design Gundam ever. But there's a few of them. They're bad. They're bad. They're bad stereotypes.
They mention once, Dark, that in the tournament finals they're not going to follow the previous rules, and you can have as many replacements as you want, and they never mention it again. So then when Domo's like popping cockpits and other people are losing their heads and still getting to fight again, even Rungren and I, who had just heard that warning, were like, wait, hold on, he just lost in that other match. What's he doing here? It was like, oh yeah, they had a single throwaway line to make it okay.
Yeah. Lined up. It's like I said, we've got. We're gonna plow through it, get through it. That I think there's better. It's just at the end of the day, it's like really, it's got nothing to do with the Gundam that I want to know about.
Right.
I'd like to learn more about I'd like more about the Universal Century and what happened before that.
The next show won't either. Wing is also its own thing, but then after that, we'll go back to Universal Century for.
Yeah, I know about it. It's a dumb kid show at the end of the day, but they got the designs are cool, and I know they sold toys.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line.
I do just want to highlight though the fact that look, I love this show. This is not my favorite set of episodes. I mentioned that to you that these are some of my worst episodes in the series till we get to the Allenby episode. The fact that we're expected to believe that those other pilots are alive, like Domo hits the cockpit with the first erupting burning finger, and the pilot just like bloop out of the side, and then Schwarzbruder wrecks that Gundam, full explosion. People should be dead, and he just catches him in his hand.
Yeah,
like, all right, look, I'm willing to give you a lot of leeway, G-Gundam. This is too much for me.
Yes, well.
Also, if they had energy shields they could put around the matches, why didn't Neo France do that before when all those people got murdered?
Maybe that was when they started that.
Yeah, that's when they put the shields up.
Now, what cracked me up was the whole time they just fight in the cities and wherever.
Yeah.
And you get to here, and it's like, no, we've got tournaments set up. We got platforms you can stand on.
I guess if you're the winner and you rule all of space, your country gets protected, and that's it.
I guess so.
And it seemed quite the way to do things to me, but
Yeah, and that's like the fact it's the way Hong Kong is presented. Hong Kong is presented as its own thing.
Yeah,
that's as a thing for the time because it was still British,
right?
At that time when this come out, they went in 1999. The lease went out, so to speak, and take things how you want to after that. I may talk about that a little bit later, but it's I don't know, such of its time.
Yeah,
Hong Kong's going to be its own, like its own place. It's not going to in another country. It's going to be own city state type thing.
For sure. It doesn't make sense to have just. And again, the only thing that I can even sort of go, well, maybe this is why, is because they won the last one. But otherwise, like, yeah, everybody else is a ruin right now. I don't.
The overblown best of the best. That's what this is.
Yeah. Yeah. But Allenby's cool. Pretty much. All right, well, let's move into weeks then. How's your week been?
It's been all right. It's been all right. You remember to write stuff down. Do that. I actually played Lotro the other day. That was a lot of fun. Getting through the Mark. I like the skirmishes.
Yeah, those were fun.
The I don't know, don't make me have to run everywhere. Just teleport me into something so I can fight.
Yeah.
Give me experience for it. That's pretty cool. That was fun. Do that. I have throw some mods and Fallout 4 mess with that thing. I do that every once in a while.
Yeah.
It was out there to change the game. Sometimes it's that one, sometimes it's Skyrim. Who knows? Watched my girlfriend play Oxenfree 2.
Okay.
I got that. Yeah, look, really cool. I will definitely be giving that a run through. I ran through both she and I have run through Oxenfree a few times.
Oxenfree 1's good.
I think she's done it 2 or 3 times. I've done it like 2 or 3 times. Got different different endings, and it's different each playthrough.
Yeah.
Not a lot, but enough to where it catches you. You remember. And Oxenfree 2, it looks like the same thing.
Yeah.
Great, really good voice acting. One guy talks a lot. Like, dude, shut up. You're annoying me.
Yeah.
But yeah, really good voice acting. Same art style. They haven't changed that much up. They, same style, same. It's the same thing. Things are going on, right?
Right.
And the radio is involved. Excellent sound design through it. The Foley artist did great through it. So I'll definitely get a playthrough. Very interesting looking game.
Nice. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, it's probably the most interesting thing that happened this week is watching her play Oxenfree 2. But that's about it. I didn't really do much. Well, how was your week?
My week's been pretty good. I watched a movie, and normally I don't do this, but I am going to give a quick a quick trigger warning, because this movie is rough. Let me make sure I got the spelling right. I liked it a lot, but this is not the kind of movie that you just watch, and especially if you're somebody that's really sensitive to scary stuff, or more specifically to children having to go through scary stuff. Skinamarink is a really solid movie that is horrifying, and it's about 1:40, and you can watch it on YouTube. It's a pet project of a guy that wants to be emotional damage indeed. That wants to be a big director for full feature-length films, and so he started making his own little projects, and honestly, he's making really interesting stuff there. But it is a horror movie about 2 children that are locked in a house with some supernatural creature that has the ability to remove doors and things like that, and so they can't get out, and they're not old enough to know what to do, and their parents are gone. And it's this thing slowly driving them mad. Again, if you're somebody that's sensitive to horror or to horror happening to children, you should not watch this movie. I'm pretty good with horror. I read a lot of horror. I listen to a lot of horror. I really like horror. After watching this, I had to take a moment where I was like, all right, look, I need to decompress for a second before I do anything else, because it is legitimately the most horrifying thing I've ever seen. Uh,
few movies, like great movies or movies I enjoyed or loved, where like there's times watching it was like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Where they can go.
I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But, jumped almost immediately into like my top 50 movies for sure, maybe my top 25. Because it's so different. The way that it's shot with, I understand, Will. It's shot with like a distanced perspective where you don't see any of the things happening, but you hear all of it in like whispered hush tones. And the things you do see are children's toys lit from a different perspective, so they look horrifying. And some of them toys that move, and so when they move in this horrifying perspective, it's just like absolutely terrifying. While you hear this creature talking to these children. And yeah, if you can watch Skinamarink and not feel bad for those children, I don't know if you're a human being. like
you know heart.
I don't want to get into too many spoilers, so I'll just say the thing got the parents already at the start of the movie, and that's all I'll say there. But yeah, it's just a family that it shouldn't have happened to them. This never should have happened to anyone, but here it is. And so that's all I'll say about that, but it's very, very good. Toy Story, yeah, like Toy Story 1. I'm almost done with Final Fantasy 16. It seems to happen every time with this podcast where I get like right up until the final boss and then it's podcast time. But I have like 4 side quests left and a couple hump marks left to go. I've done all the other side quests. I know, I just got to beat them faster. I got up at 4 this morning to work on it and try to get done where it would be cooler in the house, and played it up until pretty much podcast time. And I'll put it this way. I got to the final boss about 6 a.m. and spent 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. just doing side quests pretty much. Because right as you get to the final boss, that goes, hey, here's 10 more side quests. Like, but all of them are really good. Like, at the midpoint, I was going, man, I'm doing these side quests because they unlock more stuff for me. Yeah. At this point, I'm doing the side quests because I want to see how these characters' stories end. And they're really, really good. Combat has changed for me.
Disappointed!
Where I finally hit that point where combat is not just, hey, I win every fight. And it's gotten fun. It's not difficult still for me, but it's fun now. Enemies are a challenge. There's more variety of enemies that have opened up. They have new moves that incorporate some of the previous boss's moves. And so there's a lot more to handle while you're fighting, and makes it a lot more enjoyable for me.
That's like classic stages of Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
It's not always done the same way.
Right.
But that makes so much sense in my head because it's about like opening up later.
Yeah.
Right. You go so long, and it's like this is what I got.
Yep. Slow down, Will.
And sometimes they do it in stages and stuff like that. But yeah, it sounds like you hit that at least another level of that big open up thing.
Yeah. And the story is just incredible at this point. I'm not going to say it's like top 5 Final Fantasy stories for me or anything, but some of the little callback moments are really good. And I can't get into it without spoiling things. And I know we have some of the people in the chat that are playing it right now. Will is one of them. So I won't spoil anything there, but it has really come around on me. Clive has really come around on me. I will put this out for you. There's a Sid Vicious reference in the game, and that's really fun. But I did... Go ahead.
Okay. Now, I just wonder which one.
Okay, so it's specifically just a reference to Sid Vicious existing, because there's a character named Sid, and there's a moment where they say, you know, people are going to call you Sid the Vicious for this.
Okay.
It's like, ho-ho. But, no, it's all, combat's really good. Side quests are really good. Only real complaint that I have at this point is that I found out there is a higher difficulty mode. You unlock it when you beat the game. Why not just give me that from the get-go, where I could decide, you know what, I'm not really enjoying the combat right now. I'd like to play this harder difficulty, please.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, I guess, now. I wish I'd had it 20 hours ago, but
yeah.
You know. Yeah, the big thing for this game for a lot of people is going to be the big cinematic boss fights, which are really cool. They're very, very cool. From the get-go, Faith. Geckos don't deliver me goods anymore. But I'm having a good time with it. I'm glad that I'm almost done, because the bug has just been fixed in Trails from Reverie that kept me from playing it. So I'm excited to get on to it. But
Fair enough.
I do want to talk about one last game that I played, and then we'll move on from my week. I played Exoprimal, because it was on Game Pass. The game I've been excited for a while. This is EDF meets Dino Crisis or Warframe, right? Yeah, they're busy selling car insurance, exactly. I walked away from this game very unhappy. I did not like this game at all. There's some really cool ideas in it, but it is so inundated with microtransactions and battle passes. The story is told through the multiplayer. Yeah, no, it's not like EDF at all. It was marketed like EDF. It's not like EDF. EDF takes everything super seriously, and so it's funny because EDF plays it all seriously. There are points in the story in this where you could just feel the character look and just wink at the camera. And then the story is interesting. I hate playing it. Because even if I can get around all the Battle Pass stuff, even if I can get around all the constant ads to get me to buy stuff, even if I can get around all of the weird, hey, I just want to play the story, okay, well, you got to play online with random missions with other people. The fact that, yeah, I'm right there with you, Dark. The fact that the very first match it puts me into is a PvP match where you're supposed to beat the other team to kill the dinosaurs faster, and I load in. I'm all excited. I see it's PvP. I get less excited because I don't get to choose if I'm playing PvP or PvE. It chooses for me. Then my team has 3 people. Their team has 5. So it gives me bots that aren't as effective as another set of 2 real people. No. And then while I'm falling behind constantly, the robot is going, you're killing dinosaurs slower than the other team. Over and over and over, and I was furious at that point. It's like, shut up, man.
Hero, your health is low.
Yeah. So then I get to the end of that. I'm done, right? I just want to end the recording. Yeah, you do. You have to deal with it every time you finish a section. I just want to end the recording. I don't want to play anymore. I finish the race, and then it puts me into a straight-up PvP match that's a part of the same match where now we have to push a payload. Why not just have that as a separate thing? So we get wrecked trying to push the payload. They're moving much faster than we are because they have 5 people and we have 3. They wreck us, and it immediately boots me into 3 cutscenes. Like, look, I don't even know what I won from the match. I don't know how much XP I got. And then after that, I didn't even get enough XP to level once. I was like, all right, I am done. We're good, man. I was so stoked for this game, and I kind of hate it.
You know, Dark kind of mentioned it. I think you kind of feel that there's something like game developers miss this section where it's like, no, this is just some people who, you know, may want to be in the same room with, you know, play a co-op, you know, or maybe have a couple of friends. They just want to play with them, right? Yeah. It's like there's nothing for that.
Yeah.
No.
I want an offline mode where I can just play the story. Give me the bots if you have to, but let me just do PvE. And yeah, that's fair, Dark. That's not ideal either. But like, we had a guy that was camping this one hallway, killing everybody that come through because he knew what he was doing. And I didn't, you know? Oof. Yeah, I had a better experience than that, I guess, but it still wasn't a very good one. And then, like, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, people play games to get away from the strangers in the world.
Right. Even the shooting dinosaurs kind of sucked. Like, you give me a giant mech suit and you let me shoot dinosaurs, and I'm in, right? But the raptors, when they spill out of the summoning portal thing, they kind of just go every direction. And so it's like, all right, well, that makes sense, right? They're raptors. But my gun is like a Gatling. I chose the guy with the Gatling cannon and the missiles. So I'm just like shooting at them, and I've got to keep turning, and my heat is slowly going up. So then I try to use the missiles to lock on, and it locks on, but it fires the missiles away that way before they turn. So I don't even get to see the missiles fire. How do you mess up firing missiles? That's the best part about firing missiles, is watching them fire.
Especially the Sidewinder, right? And it's this thing comes in on it, yeah.
So I have no plans to go back, and if I do, it'll be for a stream where we'll try and get some people together, because, ooh, yeah.
So like, you'd probably go back to Turok first, is what you're saying?
100%.
That
or Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis. I mean, what was Blood Dragon?
Yeah, Far Cry Blood Dragon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put it this way. Partway through the recording, I said, this kind of feels like Anthem. And that is just as harsh as it should be. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Dark. If there was a pure co-op mode, I'd play it.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of feel the same way.
There's only one map? No! I didn't play a second round. I stopped after the first round.
It's not a very exciting game, I'm not sure.
I'd rather play Gundam Evolution, and I hate that game. Oh, I'm looking forward to your review, Dark. Speaking of reviews.
All right.
Let's get into these.
About time. Goodness gracious.
We're starting with... Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
I just saying, you got five blanks. I'm 1 through 5, so I've got 5 of these reviews, right?
Come
on.
We'll just read two reviews on each one, just to be safe. I did. That game's not good. It's just Overwatch, but with Gundams, and then it's still not good. So...
Yeah, bless you.
Thank you. We're starting off with Atelier Marie Remake, The Alchemist of Salberg. This is another one in the Atelier series. So you're going to be an alchemist. You're going to be do a JRPG. RPG stuff and trying to gather materials and all that fun stuff.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Play GBO2. I also don't love GBO2. I gotta clear your name off the ice cream wall of fame here real quick. Get to stay up there anymore, Rungrat.
Fine.
Alright. Gundam Battle Alliance, or no, not Gundam Battle Operation 2 for consoles. And PC now, it's on PC as well. It's a gacha.
Ah, fair enough. You know what, for the alchemy thing, I'm going 79.
Alright.
I vaguely heard about, I think, what it's being remade of. Anyway. I can remember a 73.
Score is 76. Okay. Faith got ice cream on the first guess.
Look.
Congratulations.
Got ice cream.
Very dark. I used to really like GBO2, but it just, the bazooka spam meta and then the fact that it's gacha just slowly wore me down. And all right, I have 2 reviews for you on this one. digitally downloaded, says, thankfully the color and humor of Atelier Mari prevent it from becoming dry, despite the clear parallel to real-world work structures. While the jury's out on how appealing this will be to the rise of fan base, Marie Remake has been an opportunity for me, a hardcore Atelier fan, that came to the party in the middle and loved the classical approach to the series, catch up with a game that started it all. I can see the progression from Marie to Verona and beyond, and Gus has definitely gotten better at executing the core idea over the years, but even right back then, at the genesis of the series, Atelier has really been the most wholesome comfort food.
Okay.
And second review is Atelier Marie Remake from Spazio Games, sorry. Atelier Marie Remake, The Alchemist Salberg, wanted to slightly improve what the original game did best, but it leaves us with a feeling that it lacked the courage to do much better than we got.
All right. So it's not a terrible game. You know what? I will go say around. I will say 78 this time. It could come up a couple points.
Okay. Thought for a second I was hearing blessed rain that would cool everything out, but I think it's just my air conditioner struggling to stay alive.
Like rains for 30 minutes.
Right. Those are only in Africa, yeah.
That's right, yes. No vampires.
Quick question, would Neo Kenya's Gundam have won you back over if it had a rain-based attack?
No, there's some. You know what? I'm gonna go look and dig into, because there's stuff I recognize that they do in that.
Yeah.
I kind of know where that from.
Yeah.
And why they picked that. I don't. That there's so much more than
yeah.
that.
No, it easily could have been a great Gundam. And
yeah. I picked it that way. I don't know. I go back and look and see if that's like, would that be recognizable to a Kenyan?
Right.
You know?
Probably not.
Exactly. You know, nobody in Holland's going to claim that Gundam.
Right.
Why would I expect? Yeah. So
I'm just glad that Neo Ireland hasn't been introduced.
It is a drunk Gundam. Is that what
you're? We'll just wait and see. 74% was the answer. Nobody got it, but that's okay. I like that one, so glad to hear it. One of these days, I'm going to get into that series. Next up, yeah, pretty much. Next up, we have Oxenfree 2: Lost Signals.
Okay.
Probably be Leprechaun Gundam.
Yeah.
Right.
Oi, look. I just say we just went over some of the Irish.
Yeah.
There's great stuff in there.
Dugan, Kukalan, Bien Makul.
I'm saying every country they've got represented there.
Yeah.
There's better things they could have pulled from.
Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah. Germany's just a ninja.
Interesting. I'm telling you. They're all bad. Really? The entire England, anyway. Fog.
But is Oxenfree 2 bad?
Huh? What?
Oxenfree 2 is what we're talking about. So is it bad? What's the score you think?
Sorry. Man.
No, you're good.
I'm really I don't know. I'm gonna go 88.
I get it. You're still thinking about Neo Ireland's Leprechaun Gundam. I understand.
Yeah.
Score is 78.
Oh, I was way off. These people don't know what they want.
It's fair, Rebus. Got a couple blurbs for you here.
All right.
A group wonder together they perform K-pop. If it was made today, it would be. God is a Geek says, it's not often a game keeps its claws in after the credits roll, but Oxenfree 2 Lost Signals will stay with me for much longer than just another playthrough.
Mm.
But
much, but yeah, okay.
Games Radar says the upside of treading old ground is that Oxenfree 2's story gets to link back to the original in some fun ways. Now, you may say neither of those were very helpful. Yeah, that's every review on this game for some reason. I don't know if reviewers were just afraid to touch on the story for fear of spoiling things, but
no, I think it deserves. I think it deserves better than that. I'm gonna stay with 88.
Okay.
Oh, it's coming up a bit. I'm gonna stay with 88. I think it deserves at least that. And look, it's not a game you sit around and play with friends. It's the game you sit in the dark, play, and you stare at the screen.
That's right.
Why?
Score is
Yeah.
79. Means Will is also on the board.
All right. Some more ice cream. Just handing out the ice cream. Just like that. Everybody gets ice cream.
And look, I get it. You want to get a blurb up on the wall, but like, come on, say something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. So next up, we have a game that I didn't know existed and had to pull up a definition. And I don't know if the Steam definition is going to help you, but
okay.
It's called Jagged Alliance 3. Okay. Apparently there are 3 of them. This is their description for the game. In the section that normally says what type of game it is, this is what the developers put.
Okay.
The country of Grand Chien is thrown into chaos when the elected president goes missing and the paramilitary force known as the Legion seizes control. Hire mercs, meet interesting characters, and fight in tactically deep turn-based combat in this true successor to a beloved franchise.
Trey.
That does not give me as much information as I would like to have, please. Turn-based strategy RPG.
Okay, it kind of sounds like, yes, that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to go 70. I'm 75.
Will says 0.
I don't like this game, man. Game sounds terrible.
The score is 82.
82. Apparently, they've heard of it.
Apparently so.
They liked it.
All right. This one's a long one, so bear with me. Shack News says, I had my doubts about if Jagged Alliance 3 could really tap the joy I felt in commanding mercenaries back in Jagged Alliance 2. This is a series that predates most tactical strategy we know, but it's had some bumps along the road. Retake. Jagged Alliance 3 can't be counted among those bumps. It's a proficient and beautiful return to form for this franchise with a wealth of options inside and outside combat. It's also a tough game to overcome, but with all the options at your disposal, finding your path through the breathtaking landscapes of Grand Chien should be exciting and varied blast every time.
Retake.
I'll have a hard time putting anything else in the strategy category above this when the year ends.
Okay.
Also, that would be a fun thing to count during the podcast. How many times?
Yes.
The other one for you. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I did not mean to cut you off there.
There's been a few more than just bumps along the way.
Right.
It's interesting. And I'm wondering, I got out of that it would be game of the year in the category that this game fits in. That's the only game that's out right now in this category.
I can't think of any others, but there could be some more come out by the end of the year. We'll see.
It's a baseline.
Still 0. Hey, Poor Player says, Jagged Alliance 3 is a versatile strategy RPG packed with personality and entertainment. You really have the opportunity to overcome technical problems with your own personalized approach without being forced into playing a certain way. Any hardened SRPG mercenaries looking to take on a challenging but rewarding contract will definitely enjoy spending countless hours delving into the jungles of Grand Chien. I guess Baldur's Gate 3 is coming out this year, right?
Yeah.
It'll be in that category.
That. So I got nothing, man.
Yeah?
I just could have throw out a random score here. I guess,
Okay.
Huh? 72.
And we're not having the best blurbs lately.
Yeah. 901.
I think...
Hey, man. 901.
I think there is a solid chance that some of these blurbs were written by AI.
It might be.
Some of them feel like they're losing some of the soul that used to be in there.
Possibly. Or you might just be seeing them for the truth that they are, finally.
Could be. But the score is 89%, which nobody got.
Yeah, nobody hears it. Except Remus, who put it as an interstellar grade. And backed off to an A+.
Yeah.
That. You managed to talk Will up a little bit, so.
Yeah, Will came all the way up to 50, you know.
Yeah, here we go.
Next up, we have Viewfinder. This is another one I didn't know existed, but this time the blurb given by the developers might help you a little bit. It says, challenge perception, redefine reality, and reshape the world around you with an instant camera. Viewfinder is a new single-player game offering hours of interesting and fun experiences while uncovering the mysteries left behind.
89.
Okay.
If you want, I'm going to use that again down here. I'm going to go to the 89. That might be pleasant.
Will's got faith in this one. The score is 83.
What about score? I thought that's a good. Is that the highest one tonight that they've given?
I think so.
Okay.
And this also has actual blurbs. So it took us a little while to find some, but Games Radar Plus says Sad Owl Studios has delivered a puzzling experience that's both instantly approachable and inventive enough to keep you guessing throughout. Viewfinder is simply wonderful, a breath of fresh air that shouldn't be ignored. You know.
Very nice.
But PlayStation Lifestyle says, it's ironic that a game all about breathing life into pictures can't breathe life into its own core mechanic. Witnessing a flat picture expand into something tangible or using photography to reposition the existing stage is a technical marvel that hardly goes beyond being just a visual spectacle. These systems deserve much more than that, but, like film lacking contrast, it's underdeveloped and only a faint outline of what it should be.
Okay. All right. So what was that first score? Was it 83 you said?
Yep, 83 was the first score.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 86.
Okay.
86.
35.
There's a fine slower games between, just kind of relaxing and enjoyable and boring.
Yeah. Score is 94%.
Really?
Yep.
Damn well on that one.
Most people really seem to like it, except for PlayStation Lifestyle, who hated it, apparently.
Not enough killing.
And speaking of killing, next up we have Exoprimal.
I can't even give this score 65.
Okay.
What y'all talking about?
Heard me talk about it. You've heard Dark talk about it, chat.
Yeah, 54.
What do you think? So bad it's good. No, it's not to that point, unfortunately. The score is 69.
Okay.
Got some blurbs for you.
I bet you do.
We got this covered. It says, Exoprimal makes a terrible first impression, but stick with it and it soon blossoms into a bonkers, senses-blasting, and ludicrously fun shooter. By the end game, you'll be squaring off with thousands of ravenous raptors, rampaging T-Rexes, sniper Neosaurs, barrages of laser fire, and players popping off crazy ultimate moves. It's just a shame you have to grind through a very repetitive and limited opening to get there.
Yeah.
Some last one. Oh, no, unfortunately. We talked about Viewfinder.
Yeah. That might be interesting. I don't know. It doesn't. Yeah, maybe it grew on or something, or maybe. I don't know.
Stockholm Syndrome. Sorry, I have two really good blurbs here, and I can't decide which one, so I think I'm going to go with Hey Poor Player. That says, I intend on sticking with Exoprimal despite these gripes, though, because the core of what's here works so well. We also know future seasons will bring more content to the game, which should hopefully mitigate some of my complaints. In terms of whether I recommend Exoprimal in its current state, however, that's a different question. If you're someone who doesn't mind investing in a product on the promise of what it might become, then I say go for it. Jump on in. The core gameplay is so well refined that I have no doubt that fans of shooters and team-based shooters will find merit in what Capcom has produced and be able to overlook its rougher edges in the way I have. Whether that enthusiasm lingers long after the launch period remains to be seen. As highlighted, Exoprimal has core issues that need resolving to ensure it doesn't become another live service casualty. I like that they straight up said, whether or not I'll still feel this way after the launch window, though, who knows?
Right. Yeah. What is that? I like if you got nothing more to say about it, I don't like that way of doing business at all.
Yeah.
Hey, it's got a season pass, so we're gonna offer you more stuff then.
Yeah.
This is a full price game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. 55.
Negative 99.
Yeah. 57, 52 was thrown in there. Yeah. None of us here like that.
Yeah. No, that blurb that's why I had to read that one, because it was like, all right, look, man.
I'm not buying stock in the company. I'm buying a game. It's not going to go up in value.
The recommended score is 21%.
Yeah. Good one. Good one.
Which is about how much I'd recommend it, yeah. The suits look cool.
Yeah. Easy to make stuff look good now, though.
Yeah.
Make it look unique.
All right. Well, let's move on to announcements. Congratulations again to Faith and Will for their ice cream this week.
Faith and Will for your ice cream.
Our first announcement is a new Miyazaki movie called How Do You Live in Japan.
Okay.
Miyazaki is in Ghibli Miyazaki. He claims this will be his final film. He said that 6 times now. We'll see.
We'll see.
But it's called How Do You Live There? Huh?
Is he worried about the studio? He's not. This is not his last film.
Right.
And I like there's a sad note to that it may be his last film completed. That could happen.
Emotional damage.
But
how do you live? I live in a house.
I live in house, yes.
Unfortunately, that really intriguing name, because this movie dropped in Japan with no trailers and just that name. The name has been changed to A Boy and a Heron for the English release. Which is definitely a worse name in my mind. Like,
yeah. Like
not a herring, Faith.
Scraping some of the barrel for another kid show.
Yeah.
What if we do a heron?
Yeah.
Can we make a heron out of a sock?
The bird, Faith, not a herring. Heron.
Like, calm down. I understand. Yes, but no.
But it's really interesting to me that he was able to get it dropped. I mean, of course he was. He's like a giant name in Japan, but like he was able to get it dropped with no trailers, you know? But Goro?
He is who he is.
Yeah. That was yeah, I think it was about witches, the 3D one that he made. But no, this is, like I said, this is the 6th time he said he's done. He said he was going to stop right before Tales from Earthsea came out, which was Goro's first movie, and then his son. And then it came out, and it didn't do very well, and he came back to the company. And then every movie he made after that point, he said he was done, and he's still here. So,
yeah. Look, he is a very talented, gripey old man.
Yep.
I don't know him, but that's my assessment. Do with it what you will.
I love that he straight up said when asked, like, what was the inspiration for The Wind Rises? He said, I believe that the inspiration came from my childhood and from my attempt to find it again because it has been lost to me. It's like, man, all right. Okay.
Don't know what you got till it's gone.
And like that's the comparison of Miyazaki from like now to Nausicaa when he was like, no, giant bugs are cool.
Yeah.
One more movie, one more. So that's really all we know about it right now. I want to see this movie. I don't know if it's probably not gonna come to us because it's getting a limited release here in the US in theaters.
Yeah, but Disney has the publishing rights to his Studio Ghibli in the US, right?
Yeah.
It would have to come through Disney Plus, something like that.
Yeah. My assumption is the very first theaters that are going to get it are the Disneyland theaters.
Yeah, well, so. And I'm sure he is. You get tired.
Tired. Speaking of tired, man, Chaos Gate Demon Hunters has a new DLC coming. The 40K game.
Okay. I read that. Now I read that. Okay.
Yeah, I need to see that movie too. It's called Execution Force, and I wish I could be excited about this. You know me, I love 40K. I actually really liked the base game for Chaos Gate Demon Hunters. But when they put that first DLC out, you could only use the DLC characters. Like, they sold that DLC on the idea of... I will try, Dark. If I can remember the name of it, I will have to look it up. They sold the DLC for the first pack of DLC on the idea of the Dreadnoughts, as Remus has just brought up. The Dreadnought being like a cool thing that you could use. But you can only use it in a handful of missions that were in the DLC. You couldn't take it to the rest of the game. And so they had to go back later and change the wording of the DLC to make sure people understood that, because they didn't do that at first. And so my assumption is the Execution Force, which is all Assassinorum people, so it's like the Kilexis Assassin and my guy that I showed off that I think I put him back in the hallway. I don't think I have him in hand. My assassin guy. It's going to be all of them, and they look cool. But my guess is you're not going to be able to use them in most of the game. So why would I get excited?
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll see how it goes. I saw it and was like, ooh, and then was like, oh yeah, no. Hope you like playing as cool assassins in Eversor Assassin and stuff in a small campaign.
Yeah.
Then we have the Game Pass games for the month. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. I did not mean to cut you off.
I just kind of a dumb thing. That whole setup is like, yeah, we'll give you the exciting stuff. No, you can't. It's just right here.
Yeah.
You're not really releasing DLC then, are you? Just a little bit just a second game.
Make it a standalone executable at that point, because like
it didn't link back. What the heck?
Yeah. Our Game Pass games for the month are some pretty interesting stuff, I think. We have Tectonica.
Okay.
Which is a game preview. It's not the full game coming to Cloud Console PC. It is a single player or co-op survival crafting game.
Okay.
Toem, Cloud Console PC. This is a black and white, monochromatic, hand-drawn adventure game style thing where you use photographic eye to take pictures.
Okay.
There's The Cave. It's an adventure game from Monkey Island and Maniac Mansion creators. Cloud and console only.
I'm gonna know that one from somewhere.
Yeah, it sounds familiar, but I don't recognize it.
I don't think I've played it. Maybe I just seen an ad for it or something like that.
Right. Maquette is coming to console and PC on the 19th. This is a first-person recursive puzzle game. Figment 2, Creed Valley, is coming Cloud Console and PC on the 20th. Action-adventure game set in the human mind. Get to fight nightmares.
Interesting.
The Wandering Village, Cloud Console and PC, coming on the 20th. It's a city-building simulation game on the back of a giant wandering creature. This has been talked about for a long time. I didn't know when it was coming out. I really want to play this. We're going to get to some remas that are actually like really good games. But you're reviewing it next week? Good luck. I hope it's good. Serious Sam Siberian Mayhem. Cloud PC and Xbox Series X and S. That series is still happening, apparently. July 25th. Then there's Vinba, coming to console and PC on July 31st. It's a short narrative cooking game where you play as an Indian mom who immigrates to Canada. I will try that. That sounds interesting. And then Celeste, which is actually like a really great platformer. Cloud console and PC coming August 1st. So it has been on Game Pass before. It got taken away when Towerfall did. Being put back. So if you want to play a really good platformer, Celeste, it's right there. Great music. But as always, when things come to Game Pass, things leave Game Pass. And there's some pretty big names that are getting kicked out here. Dreamscaper is leaving. Really, really good roguelike. Expeditions Rome is leaving. Marvel's Avengers is leaving. I mean, I know everybody loves that game. The Ascent is leaving. That's actually kind of a fun game. And 2 Point Campus. Like, they just got 2 Point Campus a couple months back. Leaving already. You know. That's where we're at on Game Pass.
Right on. In with the new, out with the new.
Yeah, pretty much. This is a game! Yeah. Yeah. Everybody loves that one. Now, I'm very excited for this one. There is a very special announcement that I have here that I've kept you in the dark on.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too, Dark. A brand new Brave series title, Brave Universe Sword Grader. Now, there are going to be a lot of you out there that don't care about this at all. But the Brave series is incredible. My favorite anime of all time is not that Brave. My favorite anime of all time is Gao, which is of the Brave series. It's an old series of super robot shows that used to be really popular in Japan and slowly like faded out of popularity because they stopped making them, right? Come on, Trey. But they're bringing it back. Brand new one. It's going to start as a webcomic, hopefully get animated at some point. But if you've ever heard stuff like Dagarn, Firebird, if you ever heard of Mike Gain, Gar, or if you ever heard of Gar's so good, Remas. It's incredible. I love it. Starts off Monster of the Week, and then you find out that the Monster of the Week has been building up to an actual plot, and then it has incredible characters. I love Guy Shishio. Amazing. Definition of a hero right there. Guy Shishio. Gar is great. It's very good. So I'm really excited for a new Brave series. If you've played Super Robot Wars in the last handful of games, there has been a Brave series in the last handful. You had in the last one was 30 has Gar, and it has Jay Decker. Before that was Mike Gain. But yeah, I'll stop because I could just keep going on about this forever. I'm so excited. None of the rest of you care about it, I know, but maybe you will. Maybe some of you will go watch a Brave series and see how good they are.
Yeah, I thought for a while there, I just thought you were throwing out syllables just randomly those names. I didn't wait till you got situated.
It is in as many ways as like Mazinger Z and Getter Robo are the fathers of current robot anime, and then Gundam became the father of real robots. And Macross rode the line between the two. The Brave series like kickstarted a brand new set of super robots. And why this excites me so much is because mecha anime is starting to come back. It's starting to. It was just Gundam for a long time, really, and it's starting to come back, and that excites me. I love mecha anime. I love super robots. I love real robots.
Well, what was the Evangelion was one of those, right? That's Sorry. I tried
Okay.
to hold space through that.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll just move on. Let's talk about the news.
Fine. The news.
Neopets is coming back.
What?
Neopets is coming back.
Yes. It's the final colony in G-Gundam.
So, for anybody who doesn't know, Neopets used to be a Flash-based website that allowed you to, pretty much dark, that allowed you to collect these digital pets and play all these different mini games, and it used to be like a popular play games on this website kind of thing, right? They built up their own lore. There was a lot going on there. Well, it died out a while back, and then this thing happened where the internet went, hey, collecting digital pets? That sounds like we could make some money off of that. And the Neopets became... Nightbot thinks it's ad time. The Neopets became NFTs.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
And then the company shut down on June 30th. Well, it has been revived. It has been purchased by a new team. Oh, there's an ad going on right now. I'm going to take this chance to take a drink. Thirsty.
What thy whistle?
We have 12 seconds left on the ad.
If you say so.
According to Nightbot. I don't know how correct he is.
Exactly.
I feel like you asked Nightbot to put something in the microwave for you, and you come back and your house is on fire. But they claim, Remas, this new company, TNT, the Neopets team, right? They claim that what they want is to bring the site back the way it used to be. So, the new team that has bought Neopets, the name, the franchise, all of it, is relaunching the website on July 20th. And then on July 25th, they'll be using the Ruffle emulator, because Adobe Flash is defunct, right? The Ruffle emulator to be able to bring back over 50 games from Neopets. And, you know, I played a mean amount of Neopets back in the day. So, I'm thinking next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday, for Frivolous Fridays, maybe we'll just play Neopets for 2 hours and see if it's any good. It's probably not gonna be, but at least we'll find out, right?
Sure.
So,
see how hard that nostalgia kicks you in the jowls.
yeah, it's probably gonna suck, but we'll give it a shot. That's the whole point of Frivolous Fridays, right? We can do weird, dumb stuff, and you know. So we'll see. They claim they don't want to have any stuff to do with the NFTs or the old metaverse stuff that was being done. They don't want to go into making money off of it the way that the previous devs were. But
they just want to get it up and running, huh?
Yeah, they just want to bring it back.
Bring it back, y'all.
But are they telling the truth? Who knows? Find out.
It was found 4 days later.
Look,
there on the screen.
All I want to do, really, the whole point of the stream is going to be see if we can play Invasion of Meridel again. Because that was the first time I had ever played a full SRPG.
Come on,
was Invasion of Meridel on Neopets. And I loved that. You had 5 characters and they leveled up, you know. Yeah, it's probably going to be terrible. But if it's terrible, at least we can all laugh at it together.
Fine. Go for it, man. Play you some Neopets. Do not blame you.
You know what I'm probably not going to be playing?
What's that?
Lisa the Joyful.
Is she though?
Better than Moshi Monsters. So, for anybody who doesn't know, Lisa the Painful was a really popular indie game. For whatever reason, it's made a bunch of money. For whatever reason, they're re-releasing it along with some of the content that never came out, right? And they're changing the name to Lisa the Joyful. This is a very dark game, right? The game is all about a character that has reached the lowest point of their life. You subsist on, like, what's the right phrase? You subsist on drugs and alcohol and things like that to be able to see you through your depression while you try to claw your way back out of it. Well, the Joyful was supposed to just be DLC, but now the original edition of the game is being changed too to go along with the DLC. And so what we're looking at now is they're saying these are some of the things that are going to be changed. Specifically for the PlayStation version, they added a notice about the protagonists at the beginning of the game saying they're not good people. And then in all versions of Joyful, cigarettes have been renamed to cigarette candy. Joy, which is a drug, is no longer referred to as pills. And alcohol has been renamed to soda.
That's very stupid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, indeed.
I thought that's dumb.
And then they say, basically, the changes are not a big deal. We just wanted to make sure everyone's aware of it in advance, because we know that Lisa fans will notice it is different from the original game. But you can still launch a legacy version of the game if you own it on Steam that doesn't have these changes, but it won't have the Joyful deals. So,
look, if you're gonna go there and do that, that's your story.
Yep.
Go there and do that.
And don't shy away from it now.
Yeah, don't shy away from it now. You're dealing with an issue right here. You know, you're gonna play it real. You want your realism in your game? No, you can't.
Yeah. They also, I don't understand what happened here, but I'm guessing there were some behind the scenes concerns because they have a whole paragraph on the stories, jokes, and characters of Lisa are never meant to attack or denigrate specific people. I don't know if there were references they made that got a little too close to specific people, and there were lawsuits that just haven't become public knowledge. But it definitely seems like they're and they even say here, we all deserve to be happy, and we're all in this together. Okay, but that doesn't mean you have to change cigarette candy.
Change people go through.
Yeah. In fact, I think changing it takes away from what people go through.
Yeah.
It could be, Rivas. It could be. Oh. In the One Piece dub from 4Kids, where they changed a bunch of stuff, they made it where instead of Sanji smoking a cigarette, he was smoking a lollipop. Smoking a lollipop. There was smoke coming out of the bottom of the lollipop.
Yeah. There's a little long history of this. I don't know why this company did that. I don't know. Maybe the stockholders were like, "Hey, no."
Yeah.
We want our game nice and sanitary and safe.
Yeah.
Life's not sanitary and safe.
No, it's not. It doesn't really fit with the story you're trying to tell.
Yeah, no.
I did not know that, Dark. I didn't go into all of that. I just found out about the stuff that from their deal. I'm not surprised there's more things they changed they didn't mention.
Yeah.
However, I wanted to sandwich today. Good news, bad news, good news, right? So, Microsoft and Sony Made a deal. Are you talking about One Piece? Yeah, no, One Piece, they did that as well. They sure did. And they changed a guy's gun into a hammer gun, where it like has an extending hammer. That was so much more work than just leaving it as a gun.
Yeah.
Look, I didn't say it was a good sandwich. So Phil Spencer announced that Microsoft and PlayStation signed a binding agreement to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation following the acquisition of Activision Blizzard. They look forward to a future where players globally have more choice to play their favorite games. Sony put out a thing that was basically like, hey, look, yeah, no, of course we made this deal. Why are people telling us good job for making this deal? We want Call of Duty, you know, like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't understand that, but you know. Yeah. Yeah, just don't play Call of Duty. There you go.
Yeah. It's just that is a world that, you know, I will try to understand.
Yeah.
Worldview some people have or whatever, but that level that, you know, between Microsoft and Sony up there, the amount of money that's being discussed,
Yeah,
you know, and that's getting all this attention. It's just ridiculous.
Yep.
I don't know. This is what I think about that. Like, how much? Yeah, of course we did. We're still going to make millions off this, you know. And the end of the run, they're talking billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see, Dark. I feel like no matter what they may say, that'll change because they still want the games to get released on there. And Sony has been pretty clear about once the FTC stuff happened with Activision, a couple Sony higher-ups were basically like, yeah, you know, it's this is going through now. We're not going to fight it anymore. We're just going to accept it. Because they can't do anything about it, so why cause trouble?
Yes.
We'll see.
They'll be building us another console soon.
Yeah.
I love it.
We shall see.
Could decide to do something stupid. Speaking of something stupid, Xbox Live is going away.
Okay.
Told you I wanted to give you a sandwich. I gave you good Microsoft news and bad Microsoft news.
Okay.
Xbox Live is getting its name changed to Xbox Game Pass Core.
Xbox Game Pass Core.
Yep.
This is the minimum you have to do so you can play online?
Yep.
Okay.
September 1st is when it's changing. The good news, this is the good thing about it. There's a couple good things. There's some negatives too. The two big good things are if you currently have gold, you don't have to change your cards. You don't have to change anything. It's going to be the same price. It will bill just like gold did. You have to change nothing, you know? The other good thing is you get more than 25 games, they say.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, this does make Game Pass now have 5 tiers. But,
you can get what you want.
Yeah.
Crap.
The games they list off here are like Among Us, Dishonored 2, Doom Eternal, Fable Anniversary, Fallout 76, Forza Horizon 4, you know, all that stuff. That's fine. However, Games with Gold is also ending. So they've been giving away Games with Gold games for most of my adult life. Like,
what do you mean that's ending?
Games with Gold will no longer be a thing.
Yeah, but when you download games with gold, as long as you have gold, you get to play those games. If you don't have gold, you don't get to play those games.
So if you have previously acquired the games and you are subscribed to Core or higher, you can still play them.
Okay.
If you never downloaded them, they're gone.
Okay. Well, yeah.
So it does kind of suck, but I understand why they're doing it that way. I wish it was just, hey, if you had Games with Gold during this time, you have access to these. But the discounts that you got as part of Xbox Live will just roll into Core. So there is that at least. And just for clarification, it's been 21 years that Xbox Live has been going. I get why they're changing it. It's a weird time to change it in my mind.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's like I don't know. The tiers of subscriptions.
yeah.
The Zelda parody. Tiers of the subscriptions.
Well, and that's the thing, Dark, is right now it's the exact same deal as Xbox Live.
Yeah.
But because they changed the name, you're probably going to get a new EULA that you have to agree to. And the old EULA stated they could not raise the yearly price on Xbox Live Gold.
Yeah.
Will this one?
Who knows?
Oh. We'll see.
I guess so.
All comes back to we shall see.
We shall see.
And our last bit of news for tonight is a really weird one, but it's good news in some ways. Microsoft, I told you, with the title, we'd be talking a lot about Microsoft tonight. Well, yeah, the yearly, it had. That's the worst part, is the EULA said it wouldn't, but it did. Because they were able to legally get around the EULA that they made you sign years ago. Microsoft killed Shadowrun 07 on accident.
Did they?
Yeah.
That's interesting. You have my attention, sir.
They didn't mean to do it. It was actually an accident. Let me type this out differently so people can see better. No way for me to type it where it can be seen better. Okay.
Probably not.
Yeah, they got around the EULA, unfortunately, Dart.
Yeah.
We're still playing 360. So it doesn't say 360. It just says Xbox Series S, X, PC. So my guess is no.
No, they'll probably have to find third-party support for stuff on the 360 now. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Now, they got around the EULA because of lawyers. EULA, they made you sign that apparently they didn't care enough to keep being true. That's not going to work. Okay, we're just going to do this. So, this is like a really winding thing. I'm going to try and keep it short. But
okay.
Shadowrun servers, Shadowrun 07, Shadowrun 2007, the servers were dead many years ago. And about a year ago, come to find out, the servers had gotten turned back on. No idea who was paying for them, but the servers were back on. People could play it. And so it built up a little cult community, right?
Yeah.
With like a full Discord, with over 2,000 people in there playing Shadowrun 07 on the Xbox 360. However, a couple days ago, Microsoft updated some 360 matchmaking services for Call of Duty because they were doing all the stuff to try to get crossplay ready, and it had them looking back at old servers, and they were like, okay, we'll bump up these old servers. And when they did, not even on purpose. It's not they saw the Shadowrun servers were online and killed them. One of the things they fixed made it where the Shadowrun servers did not work anymore. Because that's how code works, unfortunately. The Discord of 2,000 people reached out to Microsoft and got a response. And Microsoft was like, oh yeah, our bad, sorry, we'll fix it for you. Not only did they fix it, they bumped it up in priority so the servers run better.
Go it.
Used to.
Don't make me pull for Microsoft in any way, man. Come on.
Used to. It would take like 3 minutes to find a match, even though they're playing with their community members, right?
Yeah.
Now it takes 30 seconds for it to boot them into a match. That is a substantial difference.
Hey, look, that good for those folks. Good for those folks.
So, quick shout out to Adam is Green and Jason Ronald from the Microsoft team that got it back working again and moved it up for people.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You can still, in fact, buy it on Games for Windows Live. You have to buy a Games for Windows Live code from some site. Good luck.
I've got the box and disc.
Do you?
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Yeah, great.
Yeah. I had to share that because that was too. When I saw that come on my feed, I was like, "No, that didn't happen." It did.
It did. That's awesome.
All right, let's throw it over to Rundgren's corner.
All right. You know, we start this off with a happy birthday, and today's birthday it is Vin Diesel's birthday.
Oh,
and I'm sure he'll be watching, but he's spending time with family.
Yeah.
Yeah. You right? So that. So I'm sure he'll catch up some later date. When he does, happy birthday on that. Okay. I've got two stories tonight
Okay.
for you. I thought I'd give them in. I was kind of going back and forth, and it's like I think I can get both these in. Okay. So for the first story, we got to think back to an ancient time, 2007.
Shadowrun had just come out on 360.
Shadowrun just come out. Lord of the Rings Online.
Yeah.
It started. It's a big year, right?
Yeah.
Huge year for me. I'm just saying. People that had money and taste, though, that was another thing that was a big year for them, because that's when the iPhone
okay.
first launched. And way back then, they was thrown together. Well, this place named LCG Auctions, they sold for a concierge, whoever, the person who it owned to, they sold for them a factory sealed 4 gigabyte model iPhone.
Oh.
Original run and all that sold for $190,000 to $372,000 and 80 cents.
Wow.
Yes. Look at that. Yeah. It broke all the records. This is considered the holy grail amongst iPhone collectors. If you know, you know. But wow. It's very scarce. And like I said, this is an unopened box. And it was actually discontinued. The 4 gigabyte model was discontinued 2 months after its launch because everybody was wanting the 8 gig model. Yeah. So at the last big sale they did sell an 8 gig iPhone, 2007 again, right?
Yeah.
That one sold for $63,356.40.
You buy so many models.
Yes. Yeah. Look, everybody's got their own things. Just haven't got too much money invested in it, I think, sometimes. I don't know. But that seems just kind of ludicrous. Which came off. Case in point, that would be.
Yep.
All that. I thought that was, people are weird, and right, you get a flip phone, no joke. Oh my gosh, I just lost chat.
Oh.
Yeah, it's I do have one other when I get chat back because I really want to see what they're saying.
Right.
Come on, there you go. Load back up, get back in, give me the screen. Not that, we'll find out.
What would I do with a bucket of flip?
Huh?
What would I do with a bucket of flip phone? I want to say I would do something good with them and not throw them at things or people. But
I'll give her ideas, Doc. But yeah, I figured everybody listening would probably have a list of things that they would take care of.
Yeah.
Before buying a 4 gig iPhone from 2007, if they had.
I'd probably have air conditioner in my car again. That'd be nice.
Nokia. All right. Okay. Look,
It's true.
thing we brought up. Talk about G-Gundam, and we'll talk about Hong Kong a little bit. No, there was a while back. There's been some unrest.
Yeah.
In Hong Kong over some handovers and changeovers of the way things are done. And you don't really hear about it much anymore. But I would like to be able to keep doing a podcast. So I'm going to move on just a little bit. Okay.
Train models are cool, Dark. What do you mean? Especially train models that turn into robots. My kind.
Like some of those folks are crazy, man. They got a whole city for their train to run around. So look, there is in Hong Kong, they're really trying to crack down on smoking. They don't want people smoking in Hong Kong. They're trying to change it. In fact, if you're born after a certain date, you're just banned from ever getting cigarettes.
Wow. Okay.
You're not allowed to buy them.
What about cigarette candy?
I don't think they have to have something. Never mind. I'm not going to finish what I was going to say. But they've come up with this, and China, according to the South China Morning Post, has come up with an order that people have been advised to stare down smokers lighting up in restricted public places. And this is a campaign that's running. When someone takes out a cigarette at a restaurant, everybody on the premise can stare at that person. I do not believe that person would dare to hit back. This is their directive.
Okay.
Now this is the final step. The final step, because they've tried other things. Like I said, I mentioned the banning.
Right.
Once you're after a certain date, you'll never be able to buy cigarettes. And there was big discussion about increasing the tobacco tax. This is the third step they feel will help it. If anybody lights up in a wrong place, that everyone in the area has a duty. I don't really call it duty, but there's a duty to stare at that person. I guess they should. Something about that seems like a little backwards to me, right?
Yeah.
Start with that. Hey, let them know. Damn, tell them.
Yeah. It also feels a little dystopian to me. The idea, like you walk into a room, and everybody's looking at you.
Yeah. Just stare. Say, I'm going to tell them anything. Just stare. Maybe it's like a Care Bear stare, wishing them good health. That's what they mean, right?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe.
It's just the way the wording's set up. They've got to be able to let people do something.
Yeah.
Like, hey, no, this is how you can express yourself.
As long as it's not the penance stare.
Right.
Got an audience for their smoke break.
Yeah, very sure. Yes. I'll do that.
All right.
Yeah, that was two strange little stories.
Throw it over to your. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Say, I hope one of y'all have an old iPhone out there. Maybe we sell it one day.
Right. We'll throw it over to your assignment then. I'm kind of excited for the games tonight.
Okay.
So, as always, chat, while we discuss the game he played last week, the vote is up. You can vote, but please do not say the name of the games. Please just say 1, 2, or 3. And if you're on YouTube, that's the only way you can vote unless you get on Twitch. So please say 1, 2. You played Eternal Threads again last week.
Yeah.
Still liking it?
Yeah, I still do. Mainly, I just want really, it's just sitting back and letting everything unfold. But I'm kind of piecing together what we've got to do, and there's going to have to be some fixes done. We saved a lady, then killed her.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, you know, she's already been dead for a long time, but she's not supposed to be dead at this time, apparently.
Okay.
Anyway, it's a strange game. The whole premise is really cool, and it's a pretty deep story. We go through a lot, learning a lot about a lot of characters, and you get TMI quite a bit from some of the characters, but it's their personal lives.
Right.
No, on that. But yeah, it's really good. But it's not. No, there's no action to it. I'm just kind of figuring things out, and I still have some questions.
I'm sure.
It's really very enjoyable.
That's cool. I'm glad to hear it. I hope you feel the same way about the game you get tonight.
I hope so. Won't do that.
I unfortunately was not able to get a code for Chinese Stepmother that got banned on Steam, but maybe next time. We have like 15 more seconds on the vote, but right now it's kind of a landslide victory. I feel like we should just go ahead and call it. I'm going to give you until I get to the end poll button to try and come back with any others, but... All right. The game that you will be playing is an old friend. We playing Kill It With Fire.
Okay. Do I need to start that over?
Kill
it with fire. Yay, spiders.
Mm-hmm. Bam, bam, bam. Throw some lawnmowers at them.
Hurry up, Rundgren.
I don't know. Did we didn't beat that, did we?
I don't think so.
Very close to the end.
It's the frying pan for sure.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's throw it over to. Do you have any plugs?
No, I'm dropping. I got Kill It With Fire. I got digital spiders on my brain right now.
I'm going to plug a channel called Studio Alf. They do covers of different mecha anime theme songs.
Okay.
Real good stuff.
Excellent.
I felt like at the start of this I had a different plug, but I don't remember it now. True. I'll use my trusty frying pan as a drying pan. Somebody wrote that line. Somebody at Warner Brothers for WB Kids wrote that line.
There's when it goes through movie line, there's a bunch of them, right?
Yeah.
There's that one. All I gotta say is I don't like sand.
Yeah.
I don't even have to do the right thing. Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
There's quite a few bad writings.
Do you know what the original Brock line is during that sudden rainstorm that comes on him?
No.
The original line, when he puts his frying pan above his head, is, this rainstorm came out of nowhere. They changed that to, I'll use my trusty frying pan as a drying pan.
Well, aren't they clever?
Yeah, I'm going to plug the original Double Pokemon from Kids WB. Just like how they changed all the rice balls to jelly donuts.
Jelly donut?
Right. Great right now. All right, well, tomorrow you'll be playing Kill It With Fire.
Yes.
Then Thursday we'll be talking Aussie mythology.
Yeah, Australian. To go through that, yeah.
And Friday we'll be doing some Skyrim with a couple mods installed, as I try to see if I can finally understand why everybody loves that game so much. I really want to like it, chat. I really do. So come have fun with me Friday, and we'll try to figure out why.
All right. We're maybe changing the ice cream wall to jelly donut wall.
Everybody wants jelly donuts. No, we won't have that one. I still want to be monetized at the end of it all. But
all right, you're gonna mod a console?
Yeah, I mean we could. I'm gonna use Steam, but
you're gonna use? Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
just because it's easy.
Fair enough. I have no idea what's on Steam.
I could mod the files on Steam as well, but
Yeah.
Steam Workshop has a lot of stuff on there. We'll see. I'm probably going to wind up downloading a Steam mod thing anyway, because there's so many mods for Skyrim out there.
Couple.
I'm excited for it. And then Monday we'll be back in Lotro,
Yes.
trying to save Mirkwood.
Yes. Get through. Defy the necromancer.
All right, mod packs. Yeah, there's a site that I use for Dark Souls mods, and I'm hoping it has Skyrim stuff. Because the workshop mostly just has, like, hey, here's Lord of the Rings weapons. It's like, okay, that's cool. I'm going to install that mod, but it doesn't fix my problem with the game.
Didn't do anything, yes.
I'll get my wife to approve the mod.
Nice.
You'll be like, what is this thing you've decided to... Why are the horses now this? You know? Don't worry about it. But,
This is no Zaku, boy.
no Zaku indeed. We got a whole week's worth of content still coming for you. I'm gonna go finish Final Fantasy 16.
All right. Good luck with that, sir.
Excited, but anything else we might have forgotten? I feel like we're forgetting something, but I don't know that we are. I might just be forgetting something I wanted to talk about.
No, just appreciate everybody watching.
Hmm.
Know how I felt about you. Took thousands and thousands and thousands of years, millions of people. Create you. Never been anything like you. Never will be again. Thank you. Thank you for spending time with us.
I wish there were more Gundam mods, Will. I only found a few.
Of course.
Until next time, I've been Trey.
I've been wrong.
We've been the Full Spectrum Podcast. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum life to offer.